Because I am a nice guy and I listen to my audience, I got a couple of request videos coming up, and this one has actually been requested quite a few times, particularly after the Carly Lloyd video. Rapinoe, whose U.S. women's national team was trounced by a under 15 boys team. You are not better just because you're a boy. It's Rapinoe. No, you're right. Actually, boom, that's a great way to take this. You are 100% correct. They're not better just because they're boys. They're better because they're stronger and faster than you. Okay? Like, not just because they're a boy, they are also stronger and faster than you. This is written by Jonathan Jones and coming to us from the Western Journal. Apologies. Soccer star and political activist Megan Rapinoe asserted this week that boys, on the basis of their gender, are not inherently better at sports than girls, in a tirade against sexism in sports. So delicious. So delicious. This is just, dude, like, when it comes to Miss Rapinoe, who is an out and out alphabetical, she really hammers home the sense stick argument that I put forth in a lot of videos, that a lot of ladies need that meat heat to get them right, to have them see things from a clear, objective position, because without it, we end up with this. The problem for Rapinoe's argument is that her team of adult women was handily defeated 3 years ago during a scrimmage against a team of adolescent boys from Texas. To every girl out there, to every boy out there who watches this team, who wants to be on this team, or just wants to live their dream out, you are not lesser just because you're a girl. That's right, you are lesser because you are slower and less coordinated than the boys. Like, okay, I will agree. You're not lesser because you're a girl. You're lesser because of other factors. You're right. You are not better just because you're a boy. You're right. You are better because you are stronger and faster. That's just how it works. I'm sorry. You won't blame anybody. Blame the creator. It is what it is. Rapinoe said Wednesday. The Independent reported. This is that's her. She tries so hard to project dude energy. And there's so many of them that it's like, yeah, I'm a dude, like the bros, I'm like the guy. Like, sweetheart, no, you're not. No matter how hard you may want to, and no matter how hard you may press for it, it just wasn't in the cards for you. But no. I can do anything a man can do except beat a 15-year-old boy. Apparently, the woke anti-Trump soccer star has forgotten the events of April 2nd, 2017, when she and her teammates were demolished on the field by a team of teenage boys. CBS Sports reported the FC Dallas under 15 boys squad beat the U.S. women's national team in a scrimmage by a score of 5-2. The fact seriously undercuts Rapinoe's argument when she and other professional soccer players failed to rise up to the challenge of defeating teen boys. And that's one of the more, because by the time a male, let's go with the biological terms, by the time a male reaches 15, 16, he can just overpower most of his female counterparts, and like even older female women. Like when you have this I guess, barrage of female teachers getting wrapped up in these thrusts with young boys, right? Like they then turn around like, oh well, he seduced me, and it's like, no, you're supposed to be the adult in the situation. But different minds, different brains, different ways of processing information. It's just biology, guys. That's really all it is. That's not to say that there haven't been examples of all girls teams defeating male opponents on the soccer field. It has happened. Okay, cool. In fact, CNN reported a British all-girls soccer team won a championship in 2019 after playing a schedule against boys-only teams. That is great. We also saw this girl beat this boy in a dunk contest, like where he jumped over like 3 people and did a windmill dunk, and she jumped over somebody sitting down and barely got the ball in. But you kind of gotta give them that, like, when it comes to like such things taking place, you can't help but feel like there may be a little bit of rigging in there in order to push forward a narrative. But I'm not there. I can't say it for certain. The Plymouth-based FB Frankfurt under 12 girls team won the Agnes Cup after going undefeated in a season against all male opponents. Under 12. So 12-year-old girls can beat I guess like their counterparts, but once that puberty hits once that puberty takes hold, oh no, we are not playing the same game, darling. All right. But Rapinoe seemed to assert that all athletes are created equal, which goes against biology. Everything that this chick's about, because she's an agent of chaos, everything she's about is going against biology. Make no mistake about it. That's why she's pushed as hard as she is. You want to know who she was if it weren't for the us as a country giving a shit about soccer every 4 years, and that's kind of just to wave our big schmeat in the face of the rest of the world, like, yeah, USA baby all day. That's what we do. So what we do, we win. All right. Really, it's kind of hard to figure. It's kind of hard to see the anger against Trump at this point, because that's what the United States do. We win. We go out to these Olympics and stuff like that, and we win. So you come back home, you rocking the flag, everybody saluting you. But I mean, real talk, how many people press for MLS, man? If the two genders were truly equals in the field of competition, surely an NFL team would have picked up at least one female wide receiver or defensive back at this point in sports history. I think we know where the Western Journal falls on this. And I'm sorry about the rain, but it is one of those days. I'm in the car all day, and I really can't get quieter space. The fact that women have failed to cross over into men's sports is proof enough that Rapinoe's claims are based on a denial that men are biologically stronger than women, which is a fact. And facts cannot be sexist. Amen. Amen. That is, of course, not to say that men are superior to women. Men and women are just better at different things, and that's okay. Actually, it's perfect. It's how we synchronize. It's how we work together. That's one of the best things about a partnership between a man and a woman, is that they're supposed to be able to supplement each other. Unfortunately, in Western society, it's like I'm every woman. It's all in me. I can do whatever the hell I want. That's right. I don't need no man. And as long as the government sits there and keeps backing them up the way that the government has, it's curtains. It really is curtains. Rapinoe's comments about sports and gender were in response to a continuing dispute over a gender discrimination lawsuit filed by the USWNT national team targeting its governing body, the U.S. Soccer Federation. Rapinoe and her teammates are suing the USSF for $66 million, alleging that USSF officials have not paid them a salary equal to that of their male counterparts on the national team, the Associated Press reported. A USSF legal document filed in the suit on Monday essentially said the women's team did not perform equal work to that of the men. A reasonable juror could conclude that the job of MNT players require materially different skill and more responsibility than plaintiff's job does, while also taking place under materially different working conditions, the document partially read. Rapinoe and her teammates took offense to the language in the argument, with Rapinoe accusing the USSF of blatant misogyny and sexism, according to the Independent. Guys, seriously, these people are insane. Like, she's nuts. And at some point, your lunacy has to completely invalidate your position. I'm sorry, we've passed that point a very long time ago. We've sort of felt that those are some of the undercurrent feelings that they've had for a long time, she said. At Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, Wednesday, Rapinoe and the rest of women's team protested the USSF before the game by turning their warm jerseys inside out during the national anthem. Oh yes, where's those knees at, lady? The women's team then defeated Japan by a score of 3-1, winning the She Believes Cup title in the process. And guess what? That women's team from Japan still want to beat the 15-year-old boys because, they're not better because they're boys. They're better because they're faster and stronger than you. USSF President Carlos Cordeiro issued an apology for the alleged sexist language Wednesday. Alleged, yeah, because it is allegedly. Because it's like, you know, why are you like yeah, my goodness, when can sense start to come back to the world? Can we start to recalibrate this shit and stop pretending as if, oh yeah, like these are even legitimate arguments that, like, you are making bank, you are making more money than the average American makes. So how about you just be grateful for it? Damn it. Instead of saying hey and just more. But that's the problem with the feminine, with the way the female brain works. It'll never be enough. There will never be enough. I promise. On behalf of U.S. Soccer, I sincerely apologize for the offense and pain caused by language in this week's court filing. You know, if words hurt your feelings, you really shouldn't be taking place in the adult world. I'm sorry. I think that should be the barrier of entry into adulthood. Do words offend you? Yes. Okay, well, congratulations. We now do not pay attention to anything you have to say because, well, you'll just get butthurt and take offense, and guess what? And that's how the left always ends up eating itself. That's how any organization goes down, is because you sit there and you keep placating and giving in to the crazies who want absolutely nothing more than to get more of what you are already giving them. Oh, okay, you got that? Oh, all right, it's like somebody robbing you. Like, oh my goodness, sir, take what's in my pocket. It's okay. And you give him like $300. Like, oh, where you got that? What else you got? And then he drives you home, and you go and he starts rummaging through. He's like, whoa, champ. I mean, this was a robbery. Like, yo, you could just be happy with the 300. No. They can't just be happy with the 300. They're going to take you to your crib and then go and take all your valuables and your jewels and even the car and the whole nine, take your kids, take your life, put your children on the black market and shit. It is what it is. I'm telling you, this is the way this mindset works. All right. Golly, which does not reflect the values of our federation, of course, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we know, all the contrite stuff that you have to say in these situations. Cadario abruptly resigned from the USSF Thursday. I covered that in the Carly Lloyd video. It has been an incredible privilege to serve as the president of U.S. Soccer, Cordero wrote on Twitter. My one and only mission has always been to do what's best for our federation. That's Carlos Cordero right there. Oh my goodness. CNN reported USSF Vice President Sidney Parlow Cone will replace, and they're replacing them with the chick. Of course they are, because we gotta we gotta give these women this money. Oh my goodness, like all these institutions, man, all of these institutions, they are corrupted. They are terrible. And honestly, I would suggest not even paying attention to this sport anymore if you're a fan. Like me, I don't give a shit. I'm not a big soccer fan at all. I don't care. Like, even when I do play for the country, I'm like, like when it comes to the Olympics and stuff, I'm looking at the medal count. I'm like, okay, bet we leading with golds. We taking over China with these golds. I bet, great, fantastic. Silvers, man. Okay, good. Bronze. Hey, represent. But yeah, as far as like, like boosting these cats, and the media is going to continue to do it because the media is run by gynocentrism as well. It's going to implode in and of itself, because you can't sit there like and keep biting the hand that feeds you and expect it not to eventually